Tom was poked in the eye. As a matter of fact, he was poked in both eyes. Now, I don't believe Ciryl did that on purpose. So, I also can't, or am not mad at Ciryl.
Gane's doing a lot better than I thought he was going to do. To be honest with you guys, he's doing a good job. Oh, shit! Keeps eye poking, man.
Listen, anyone that's been poked in the eye, you know the feeling. It is agonizing, and it was a double eye poke, and it was a significant eye poke. It wasn't like a little scratch. It was, they went in. They were proper eye pokes, and Tom clearly was in a lot of pain.
The new age of the heavyweight division began on an embarrassing and heartbreaking note following the much-anticipated bout between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane, ending as a no contest. The battle was stopped after Gane inadvertently poked Aspinall in the eye, leaving fans stunned. Alex Pereira was among the first to respond, sharing a video of a sarcastic smile that said more than words could ever articulate regarding the strange ending. Those same words were echoed later by Chael, Sonnen, and Anthony Smith, who criticized Tom Aspinall for tapping out too early. They alleged he could have kept going but didn't because he was losing the early rounds. Both men stated Aspinall panicked after being overwhelmed by Gane and used the eye poke as an escape. They got heated words immediately, which went viral quickly and riled people up online, splitting fans down the middle on whether Tom was really hurt or simply outgunned.
To fight with one eye is very common. The opponent's trying to hit your eye. He's trying to bust up and make your nose bleed. So that part of it does have question for guys like Anthony and I. We're trying to be polite. We're trying to show grace. But in all fairness, if you're the heavyweight champion of the world, you got to fight with one eye at times. I thought that the fight was turning out to be a little bit harder than perhaps Tom had expected. He's never been to a third round of a fight, just for example. So the question is, how are you going to respond when things get tough? But there was something about the way that the story was being told, the way that it was being held on the eye and never removed. Right. And it was just being held on there oddly. And I've checked out of fights before. I know what it looks like. And I knew that he was done.
Hey there, here it is in real time.
You have to be used to or willing to fight with one eye. I did it in Singapore. You never say I can't see if you want to continue to fight. Like, you find a way to get away from the doctor. If you want to fight, you can fight.
He said, I got poked in the eye, I can't see. If you got poked in the eye and you're injured, we have a totally different conversation. If you get poked in the eye and you can't see, generally in our sport, that's just something you've got to push through.
Chael, Sonnen doubled down and came to the defense of Ciryl Gane. He clarified that the eye poke was an accident and occurred purely instinctively in the heat of the exchange. Sonnen asserted that fighters tend to leave their hands open when measuring distance and that such accidents are quite frequent. He reminded fans not to be quick to label Gane dirty because it was not malicious foul play. Even in defense, most people believe Chael was defending Gane too much after observing the slow-motion replay.
Tom was poked in the eye. As a matter of fact, he was poked in both eyes. Now, I don't believe Ciryl did that on purpose. So, I also can't, or am not mad at Ciryl.
Daniel Cormier, Kate's side commentating, also gave his opinion on what transpired. Cormier admitted Gane was really giving Aspinall a torrid time prior to the eye poke. Cormier observed that Gane was landing crisp jabs, dictating distance and breaking Tom's rhythm. He said it seemed like Aspinall was beginning to struggle with Gane's timing and movement, and Cormier concluded that while the foul was unfortunate, it shouldn't overshadow the fact that Gane looked impressive before it happened, surprising everyone with his early success.
I've never seen him throw a high kick, and it's partly because he's never had to throw a high kick. There are layers to these guys' games that we have to find only when they're fighting someone that not only deserves to be in there with them, but can extend them to a point where they have to use all of their weapons. Tonight, Tom was kicking more. He was trying to wrestle more. He was doing so many things differently because he had to. Unfortunately, Ciryl Gane seemed prepared for all of that, and he was fighting better than we have seen him fight in a long time.
Ciryl Gane later addressed the controversy in his post-fight interview, expressing his disappointment with how the night ended. He told that he trained too intensely for the bout to have this kind of finish and was cheated out of a correct result. Gane described that he was actually viewing victory with rage and would never wish to win or lose due to an illegal move. He apologized to Tom and the fans, stating that it wasn't done on purpose and he had a lot of regard for Aspinall as a fighter.
I think we started very well. I think he started very well, but I think I started very well because everybody knows his strategy every time he started really hard and surprise his opponent. I think we did very well. We defending a takedown. I touched him. We saw some blood on his nose. It was a really great first round, and that's why, yeah, maybe also I was a little bit disappointed, a little bit sad about this issue, but this is a sport. I was the first angry because I don't want from him to stop the fight.
He also recognized the gravity of the situation and stated Tom could have been truly injured. Gane admitted his opinion that eye injuries are risky and that if Aspinall was not seeing well, halting the fight was the correct decision. He asserted no fighter should risk irreversible injury to appease detractors or demonstrate toughness. Gane indicated he felt bad for what happened and hoped the UFC would let them fight again to get it right.
For a full round, so I know how it is. And
one round during that is what the debut of the round and the rest of the round. I saw the two territories, so I'm not gonna say yeah he's a liar.
Tom Aspinall was obviously irritated by the result. He told people who were calling him a quitter that they were being unfair because physically he couldn't go on. He said his vision was lost and that any attempt to open his eye sent stabbing pain. Aspinall also stated that he has fought through injuries in the past, but an eye poke is different. He reported that to fight blind against a fighter like Gane would be irresponsible. His anger was evident as he insisted that he deserves a rematch to show that he didn't retreat.
Guys, I just got poked knuckle deep in the eyeball. What the why are you booing? What am I supposed to do about it? I didn't do the poke. I can't see. This is the fight was just getting going. Complete bull. Piss.
MMA Guru joined the discussion with a hot opinion, stating that Ciryl Gane lied during his post-fight interview. He stated all of Gane's reaction appeared to be fake and staged, as though he knew what he had done. His video immediately went viral, with fans rushing to comment sections debating if Gane's actions were truly an accident or a nasty veteran trick to make it through.
But typically Ciryl Gane does get off at least a few eye pokes, just like his teammate Dasanina Mavov, and he landed it. He landed his signature move, double eye poke on Tom Aspinall. The finger went straight into the eye on this side. Left hand one. This doesn't really tell the story of it. He landed the eye poke, like you see here, and then he pushed into the eyes afterwards. That's what I think caused the problem. He landed the eye poke and it didn't look that bad, but then he pushed straight into the eye with force on Tom Aspinall to reclaim distance. And Tom had to call off the fight. He can't see.
Guru went on to analyze the fight footage and noted that the eye poke did not occur once, but twice. He clarified that the initial poke was less severe, hence the fight proceeded, but the second one was much worse and well visible. He asserted that anyone who would deny this was disregarding clear evidence. Guru asserted the replay demonstrated Gane extending his fingers forward intentionally. His analysis went viral and fueled the already ongoing controversy.
This wasn't the only eye poke that Gane went for, by the way. 3 minutes and 11 on the clock in the fight. I called this out live. Tom shoots in for a takedown. Ciryl immediately does the same thing with his fingers. Outstretched, forces them in the eyes of Tom Aspinall and eye pokes him again. This time not to too much damage and doesn't go straight into the eyeball of Tom Aspinall, or he doesn't rake the eyes after he lands his signature eye poke. So they resume the fight and Tom just gets back to it. Okay, we'll get back to it. I think Tom landed a spinning back kick at one point. He landed a head kick in the fight. Gane was popping his jab. There are people talking about this like, damn, Gane was busting him up. Shook off the takedown like nothing.
He didn't hold back. Guru labeled Ciryl Gane the dirtiest fighter of this era. He stated that Gane had a history of employing questionable means in battles and blamed him for being among MMA's increasing issue with rule breaking. Guru said that Gane embodies the new generation of combatants that bend rules for gain. His tirade became vicious as he described Gane as embarrassing the sport and deserving of suspension. Fans were divided, but the claim certainly rattled the community.
Gane eye poked. He's a dirty fighter. He does this every single fight he has. He's a dirty piece of shit. Every fight he has, he eye pokes someone, or he groin shots them, or he back of the head shots them to a TKO finish. One of the dirtiest fighters on the roster, and I don't think I've seen a point taken from him yet in his entire career. There would have been a point taken in this round, even though the ref said it was accidental. I don't think it is when you're constantly doing this with your fingers. What does it take?
Guru also criticized individuals who were criticizing Tom Aspinall for not fighting on after the injury. He stated that it was ridiculous to want someone with a bad eye injury to continue fighting. They were pretending not to see that it was Gane who brought the foul, he said. According to him, they should not point at Tom because he had acted smartly in safeguarding his health. True professionals know when to call it a day, he said. His words received mammoth support from fans who were exhausted from experiencing unfair criticism.
Or this is what happens. The fight gets called off, and for some reason, there's a lot of people that aren't angry at Gane about this. Even though he's one of the dirtiest fighters in the sport, there's a ton of people talking about how good Gane was piecing him up, destroying him. They're talking about this like it was a 10-8 round before Ciryl Gane landed the eye poke.
Even Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson weighed in on the discussion in his live reaction stream. Saying the fight play out, he continued to scream that Gane's hands were perilously open. He continuously exclaimed, "He's eye poking him again," as he observed Gane's fingers thrust forward repeatedly. Mighty Mouse indicated these weren't individual instances, it was a repeated problem throughout the fight. His live reaction went viral quickly, providing more validity to those who criticized the eye pokes as intentional.
Gane's doing a lot better than I thought he was gonna do. To be honest with you guys, he's doing a good job. Oh shit! Keeps eye poking, man.
Ariel Helwani then criticized Gane as well as the referees for how they dealt with the situation. He disclosed that Tom Aspinall had been begging for help, telling him he couldn't see for a number of minutes before officials finally intervened. Helwani expressed astonishment at how long it took the fight to be halted. He attributed bad officiating and stated that this moment highlighted how UFC has to have safer protocols in place. His remarks took off with fans enraged by inconsistent refereeing.
Then with 4 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the first round, he very clearly, Ciryl Gane did very clearly poke Tom Aspinall in the eye, in both eyes. Somehow, outstretched hand, fingers went into both eyes, and it was the right eye that really proved to be the worst of the two. And Tom Aspinall, after almost taking the full 5 minutes, saying repeatedly he could not see. Referee Jason Herzog consulting with the referee and declaring that the fight would end in a no contest due to an unintentional foul.
Michael Bisping, who himself is well aware of the agony of eye injuries, came in strongly in support of Aspinall. He talked about how he himself had fought almost blind after a similar accident and explained how fans have no idea of how frightening it is. Bisping helped everyone remember that losing an eye can transform the life of a fighter forever. He explained Tom made the complete right decision by not taking a chance with long-term harm. His passionate defense gained huge respect from fans and other fighters on social media.
Listen, anyone that's been poked in the eye, you know the feeling. It is agonizing, and it was a double eye poke, and it was a significant eye poke. It wasn't like a little scratch. It was they went in. They were proper eye pokes, and Tom clearly was in a lot of pain.
Bisping went on to talk about individuals who had said Tom should keep fighting with one eye. He clarified that it would be entirely in contravention of UFC's medical protocol and unsafe for the athlete. He added that it is not so simple for individuals on the internet to be able to talk things up, but only fighters appreciate the risks. Bisping complimented Tom on his professionalism and discipline, adding that he conducted himself perfectly well, even though he was devastated about how the fight ended.
You can't see. People might point at me and say, well, you fought with one eye. Yeah, that was a secret because I shouldn't have been fighting. You know, Tom is the champion of the world. He doesn't want to go out there when his vision is impaired or vision is massively affected and potentially lose a fight that was shaping up to be a difficult fight. Ciryl Gane was on point tonight. He was looking good. We saw the damage on Tom's face. This was not an easy fight by any stretch of the imagination. He didn't want to continue with his vision damaged or not being able to see.
He then appealed to the UFC to take serious action regarding eye pokes. Bisping asserted that the fighters should be made to keep their fists clenched tightly while striking or defending. He elaborated that with this little adjustment, future injuries like Tom's could be avoided. He added that it is the open hand style of defense that has been giving trouble for years, and now it is time for the company to change. His plan received immediate backing from fans and fighters alike.
I think Tom, and I gotta choose my words carefully, I think he's so used to going out there and knocking everyone out.
Vegan people,
and just taking them out like Sergey Pavlovich, like Curtis Blades. And I think that kind of cost him here tonight because he went forward and he threw some shots like that and he got counted, he got caught, and he didn't put him away.
Dana White later broke his silence by confirming that a Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane rematch is imminent. He stated that this fight was closer than people thought and that both guys deserve a second chance to show who who is better. Dana conceded that the outcome was disappointing, but maintained that it didn't ruin the hype for the heavyweight division. He stated when they do it again, it will be even more massive than what it was, and assured the rematch would be done right.
After the Jones fight, a lot of people wrote Ciryl Gane off. He looked damn good tonight.
Would you like to just rebook these guys as soon as Tom is able to get back in there?
Yeah, total pain in the ass, but yes, as soon as possible. It's unfortunate that it ended the way that it did, and yes, I think that there probably will be a lot more interest in the rematch after they saw, he had Tom bloodied up, and Tom didn't want to continue in the fight, so the rematch is very interesting.
Jon Jones, though, couldn't help but stoke the fight. He changed his Twitter profile photo to a cartoon duck with an eye patch, obviously taking a jab at Aspinall's injury. Fans quickly recognized the reference and called him out for being disrespectful. Numerous people said Jones was merely attempting to remain in the conversation while being held out. The post went viral on social media, leading to even more drama. It revealed how a single bad fight outcome became chaos that shook the whole UFC heavyweight division. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and keep watching, because this feud between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane is nowhere near done.